When your older dog stands quietly in the hallway and seems to forget why they walked there, do you know what they are really trying to tell you? You probably think they are just getting old, slowing down, sleeping more, missing the younger version of themselves. But the truth may be far more tender than that. And once you understand what those small changes can mean, the way you look at your gray-faced dog in your own home will never feel quite the same again. Most owners have no idea, which means they can miss something important happening in front of them. When an older dog changes, it is easy to call it age. They sleep differently. They respond more slowly. They seem less social, less certain, less like the dog you remember. But do not make the mistake of thinking every change is just personality fading. In older dogs, cognitive decline is described as a degenerative condition, and its signs can involve learning and memory, spatial orientation, social interaction, and disrupted sleep. That does not mean panic. It means pay attention, because the next 8 changes are not things to notice. They are things to understand. 1. Think about the moment your older dog walks into a room they have known for years. The same sofa, the same doorway, the same small space beside the kitchen where they used to turn around without thinking. But now they pause. They stare at the wrong side of the door. They step behind a chair and seem unsure how to get back out. Most owners call this absent-minded. They say their dog is just getting old. But do not make the mistake of dismissing it too quickly. In the Dog Aging Project, one of the behaviors used to evaluate cognitive change is a dog getting stuck behind objects, and problems with spatial orientation are part of what researchers look at. Your dog is not being strange on purpose. The house did not change, but the way they move through it may have started to feel less certain now. 2. Pay attention to the walking that seems to have no destination. Your older dog gets up from their mat, crosses the living room, turns around, walks back, then does it again. In a small Vietnamese apartment, you hear their nails moving across the tile at night and think they are restless, bored, or trying to get your attention. But here is what most owners miss. Pacing is one of the behaviors included in cognitive checklists used for older dogs. That does not turn one walk around the room into a diagnosis. It simply means the pattern deserves your eyes, not your irritation. Because when your dog moves like that, the kind of thing is not to snap, sigh, or push them back to bed. Not annoyance, not disobedience, not a small habit to laugh off. It is a quiet signal asking to be noticed before it becomes easier to ignore. 3. Notice the moment you come home and your older dog does not rush toward you the way they once did. You open the door. You call their name. They lift their head, look at you, and for a few seconds their face seems blank. That moment hurts. Most owners feel it immediately. You may think they stopped caring, but that is the part you have to be careful with. In cognitive checklists for older dogs, not recognizing familiar people is one of the behaviors that is evaluated, and changes in social interaction are part of the signs connected with cognitive decline. So do not turn that pause into rejection. Do not turn that slower greeting into proof that the bond is gone. Your dog is still standing in front of you. The love may not have disappeared. The path to reaching you may simply feel harder now than before. For look at what happens when the house gets quiet. During the day, your older dog may sleep more deeply, curled near the fan, barely lifting their head when people move around them. Then night comes. The lights go off. The family sleeps. And suddenly they are awake, shifting, standing, walking, settling down, then getting up again. Most owners explain it away. They say the dog napped too much. They say it is just a new routine. But disrupted sleep patterns are one of the clinical signs connected with cognitive decline in older dogs. That does not mean every restless night is something terrible. But it does mean the pattern deserves attention. Because sleep is not just rest. It is rhythm. It is safety. It is the quiet part of your dog's world. And when that rhythm changes, your dog may be telling you something long before they can show it clearly. 5. Watch the small social changes that are easy to take personally. Your older dog may stop coming to sit beside you. They may not follow you to the balcony when you water the plants. They may hear the family talking and stay on their mat instead of joining the room. Most owners feel that shift in their chest. They think, maybe my dog wants less of me now. But do not turn distance into rejection too quickly. Altered social interaction is one of the signs connected with cognitive decline in older dogs. That does not mean love is gone. It does not mean your dog has become cold. It means something in the way they respond to the world may be changing, and that change deserves patience. Not rejection, not coldness, a change. And if it worries you, it is something worth discussing with your veterinarian, not carrying alone. 6. Think about the command your dog used to know before you even finish saying it. Sit, come here, wait by the door. In the past, their body moved almost automatically. Now they look at you longer. They blink. They seem to search your face, as if the old meaning is still somewhere inside them, just harder to reach. Most owners feel frustration first. They repeat the word louder. They wonder why their dog is being stubborn. But do not mistake a slower response for refusal. Learning and memory deficits are among the clinical signs connected with cognitive decline in older dogs. That old routine, that simple cue, that familiar habit may not be as easy for them to pull forward as it once was. So before you correct them, pause in that moment with them. The command may be old, but for them, reaching it may take longer now. 7. Most owners notice the slower walk. Fewer notice what that slower walk may be connected to. Your older dog used to hurry toward the leash, circle the gate, and pull you toward the street before you were ready. Now they stand there longer. They take a few steps, stop, and look back toward home. In a Vietnamese neighborhood, it is easy to blame the heat, the motorbikes, or laziness. But do not make the mistake of seeing less movement as nothing. In the Dog Aging Project, cognitive dysfunction was associated with lower activity levels, and dogs described as not active had higher odds than dogs described as very active. But this does not mean low activity causes it. The relationship can also run the other way. A dog struggling cognitively may become less active, so the slower walk is not proof. It is context, a small change worth watching. 8. Listen to the moments when your older dog seems slow to answer the world. You call from the doorway, and they do not turn. You step closer, and they startle. They move through a familiar room, but their body seems unsure, as if the edges of things are harder to read. Most owners call this attitude, stubbornness, or age. But here is the part that matters. Dogs with a history of neurological eye or ear disorders have shown higher odds of cognitive dysfunction when other factors are considered. That does not give you a diagnosis from your living room. It gives you a reason to look more carefully, because sometimes behavior is the only language they have left. Not disobedience, not drama, not a dog trying to make your life harder. A signal. And if that signal keeps appearing, your veterinarian should be part of the conversation with them. If this video is changing the way you look at your older dog, stay with Mr. Hidden Mind. Here, we do not turn every behavior into fear, and we do not ignore the quiet signs either. We look at what animals do, what it may mean, and how love becomes more careful when age changes the dog in front of you. Because understanding is not panic. It is gentle attention.